Craig, Whispering Storyteller here, and I hope you are well. We are continuing with the part 3 of the House of Hell. Now for anybody who has not watched this video before, as always, just a brief explanation that this is an ASMR video, which means that I whisper, and in this series we talk through an adventure game book, which means that we make the decisions what happens in the story. If you're jumping in at this video, you probably have no idea what is happening, so you should try and watch parts 1 and 2 to get bang up to date with where we are. But for everybody else who has continued this story, I will begin right where we left off. Now, we had entered the room with the bed, and we found the black and white photograph lying on the coals. Now, I'd left an instruction asking if you wanted to check the contents of the boxes or pick up the photograph to look at it. Now, I messed up with the options because I put on a choice at the end of the video. I'm not sure if this has worked or people's noticed, but the idea was you were to select which one of the options you wanted to do, but I'm not sure if it's completely worked the way that I wanted to, so I do apologise about that. So once again, by candlelight in my nicely decorated spooktacular Halloween studio, and we're going to go straight back into the House of Hell. There we go. Alright, so we are going to have a look at the photograph. That's the option that I'm going to do, so I'm going to turn to 199. Hopefully we won't have done any drastic mistakes, because of course the House of Hell is a very, very strange place, and there's danger lurking around every single corner. Okay, so you sit on your haunches and reach for the photograph. As you pick it up, you feel a heavy thud on the top of your head. You slump to the floor, dazed, and the plant pot which came crashing on your head smashes on the floor. You must lose 3 stamina points for this accident, now turned to 290. Well, that is not something I would have expected to have happened, but let's check it out anyway. So we're turning to 290. 290. We hear a rustling coming from the curtains and straighten up to look towards the window. You shudder with fright as the curtains open just before you. Just as quickly they shut again. Then there is a silence. You walk over to grab them, but they are perfectly ordinary curtains, so you must add 1 fear point for the shock. Do you now wish to leave the room, or do you wish to try and work out the mystery of the curtains? But what about the photograph? There's no mention whatsoever of the photograph, but let's try and work out the mystery of the curtains, I guess. Is there a ghost in the room, maybe? Who knows? We met zombies, we've met vampires. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. As you are puzzling over the curtains, you reach out and lean on the bed, but as you rest your weight on the bedpost, the whole bed shifts aside and you crash down to the floor. This is all very strange and very scary. Add 1 fear point and take 1 stamina of damage. The rumbling from the opposite side of the room breaks into your thoughts. Sliding over the carpet towards you and accelerating rapidly is one of the chairs. Test your luck. If you are lucky, turn to 101. If you are unlucky, turn to 53. I'm feeling lucky, guys. It looks like this place is haunted. Looks like we've got some kind of ghost that's trying to terrorize us. In the nick of time, you spring aside as the chair speeds past you and crashes on the wall behind. You escape injury but must add 1 fear point. You better now leave the room before the poltergeist inside does some real damage. Turn to 2. Okay, well, we didn't even get to see what the photograph was. Now you may proceed by either turning right and trying the door to the Shireton room. We've already been there, let's not do that again. Or by turning left and following the passage which bears right past 2 rooms labelled Asmodeus and Elbis, and then rejoining the landing. Well, let's keep going past those 2 other rooms and let's avoid the Shireton room. 272. Let's turn to 272. 272, here we go. Okay, you follow the landing around past a wooden door which bears the name Tuttivillis. You may try this door by turning to 155. Straight ahead, the landing ends at a panelled wall and the passageway turns to the left. To follow the passage round, turn to 175. Should we try Tuttivillis? Let's give that one. Is the door locked as it usually is? Or will there be something inside waiting to get us? Or some kind of booby trap? You step into the room. It is a stylish bedchamber, beautifully decorated, but one thing disturbs you immediately. The windows are barred. Perhaps being so far from anywhere, they are designed to keep intruders out rather than keeping guests in. In the centre of the room is a 4-poster bed. You walk over and test the mattress. It feels very comfortable, and you are in need of a rest. Will you climb onto the bed, or will you walk over to the window to take a look outside? Now, why on earth would we want to lie in a bed in the middle of a house where we've met zombies and vampires? It is the last thing that I want to do. Let's take a look outside the window. There might be somebody out there that we can flag and just ask us to escape this crazy hellhole of a place. So let's try and look out the window and see if there's anybody's we can see. Okay, you ready? We draw back the curtains and peer outside. The light in the room makes it difficult to see, so you pull the curtains behind you. With your face pressed against the bars, you look out of the window. There is a rumble of thunder in the distance, and the rain is still beating down, making it difficult to see anything. A fork of lightning flashes down from the sky and lights up a sight that makes you cry out aloud. Outside your window, dripping wet and swaying in the wind, is a ghastly face. It's a long dead figure hanging on a noose and staring at you with lifeless eyes. You step back and fling the curtains shut to hide the horrendous sight. The face is familiar. It's the old man from the village. You must add 3 fear points, but what will you do now? Will you dive in the bed to sleep through the night? Or will you run out to the landing? Well, I've got no intention whatsoever of sleeping through the night. We'll probably get in and something will happen. I say that we continue around the landing. Okay, you open the door quickly and step out into the landing. Luckily, there is nobody about. Turning left, you follow the passage round till you reach a wood-panelled wall where the passage turns left. Turn to 175. Let's turn to 175. Okay, we've got a few choices here. You follow the passage round the corner in the left. 2 doors face each other across the passage, and you must either try the door to the left to the Belial room, or on the door to the right to the Abaddon room. Straight ahead, the passageway continues for a few meters before ending at an unmarked door. So many doors. Do you want to try the Belial room, the Abaddon room, or the unmarked door, or go downstairs? Let's try the Abaddon room, 335. That was just a wild guess, by the way. I've got no idea what's in there. 335. 335. Okay, you enter a bedroom which is lit by a single candle burning by the bedside. A heavy, musty odour hangs in the air. It could come from all of the plants which are standing in pots on the mantelpiece. Bedside table, dressers and shelves. Whoever used this room certainly likes plants. But another sight catches your attention and stops you in your tracks. Asleep in the bed is an old woman, and it seems that she has not heard you, for she has not moved since you entered the room. Do you wish to leave her in peace, walk over to wake her, or will you stead and spring over and attack her before she can awake? Oh, this is a tricky one. Should we try to wake her? She's probably going to be some monster or some hag or something. We're probably going to be in danger, but let's see if we can wake her. Maybe she can tell us what's going on, or even give us some advice. If she's a good person, that is. If she's nasty, then we're about to find out. So I'm going to wake her and give her a shake. 139. Okay, 139. There's the picture. Can you see that picture? In the corner there, you can just about see the woman's face. You step over to the bed and shake the woman gently, but as soon as you touched her with its skin, you jump back in horror. She is stone cold, dead. Add 2 fear points for the shock. As you stand by the bed shivering, a lone moan comes from the body. Its eyelids flick open and pure white eyes stare up at the ceiling. She has no pupils. Do you wish to see what will happen next, or will you beat a hasty retreat and run to the passageway? Let's see what's gonna happen. She might be a zombie, she might be possessed, she might be a witch. We don't know, but let's see if we can find out. Let's turn to 246. You hear words coming from the old woman, yet her lips do not move. Stranger, how dare you invade the private bedchamber of a woman of the house? She asks. You stammer in an apologetic reply. She orders you, "Begone, intruder. Leave an old woman to die in peace." Will you leave her as she wishes, or will you ask her for some information about the house? Well, I think we've been kept here against our will. And we're not an intruder, we're a prisoner. I don't think it's too much of a stretch just to ask for some information. Whether or not that's a good idea, I don't know, but let's ask her for some information about where we are. She might soften if we explain who we are. Although I doubt that is going to happen. What business of yours is this house? She screams. If you will not go of your own accord, then either my hounds will see you off, and if they cannot, I will do it myself. With these words, a wooden panel slides open in the wall and 2 huge Great Danes spring out and attack. Resolve your battle with the dogs one at a time. If you defeat the dogs, you may either leave the room or remain to search it. Well, we beat the dogs because I'm not playing the game properly, if you remember. This is just purely for storytelling, so we're going to search the room. Let's see if we can. She's probably going to appear and something's going to happen. You search the room while the old woman threatens you from her bed. You recognize some of the plants, as some of them are common house plants. The woman's voice grows frantic as you walk around in a herb garden by the window. A thought dawns on you and you turn to her, threatening to destroy her plants unless she is able to give you some information that you require. She shrieks at the thought of you harming her plants and agrees, but what will you ask her? It's a little bit nasty to be doing this to an old lady, but we just need some answers, don't we? Do you want to ask about the man in grey? Do you want to ask about the secret rooms in the house? Or what tonight's festivities are? The man in grey, have we missed something with that? Secret rooms of the house. Tonight's festivities. Let's ask her what tonight's festivities is. What is going on in the house? Let's see if we can piece together some information about that and turn to 283. Because one thing is, we've got absolutely no idea what is happening. We're not meeting many characters here. We just tend to be wandering around. And before I answer your question, she says, you must tell me something. What is my name? Do you know what a name is? If so, you will have noted down a reference number to turn to should you be asked this question. Turn to this reference. If you do not know her name, she will not answer your question no matter what you threaten to do to her plants, and you'll have to leave the room by turning to 159. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any information on this lady's name. It must be one of the rooms that we've been searching, so we have to turn to 159, unfortunately. Sorry, I just haven't come across any information like that. Having explored most of the rooms upstairs, you decide to risk searching the ground floor. Follow the landing back round to the staircase and creep downstairs. I thought there was other rooms to choose from. House of Hills are very strange. It's more like a maze, I find. So let's go downstairs and turn to 132. Now we're finally going downstairs after all this time. We walk down the stairs cautiously, looking in every direction. There is no one about. In the hallway below, you may choose to either try a door on the left, the right, or you can walk up to the front door to open it. If we try the front door, something bad is going to happen. I just know it. Let's try a door on the left. 353. 353. I just know something bad's going to happen. Don't ask me how. The door opens to a large but cosy drawing room. The dying embers of a warm fire burn in the hearth. Comfortable chairs are arranged around a fireplace. 2 glasses and a decanter stand on a glass-topped table between the chairs. There are plants in tall stands either side of the windows. And there is another door next to the one you came in. Do you wish to explore the room further? Leave through the other door, or will you have a tipple from the decanter? Well, is this the room that we were in earlier, where we got drugged? I remember we walked in with the butler and we had that drink. There's no recollection or anything anything in the narrative, so maybe it's a different room. But let's explore the room further by turning to 119. Drinking from the decanter is probably not a good idea, not after being drugged. Will you start looking through the ornaments on the corner shelf, or will you examine the fire on the mantelpiece? Let's have a look at the ornaments on the corner shelf. There might be something useful there. 192. 192. There are several delicate items of pottery and a few silver pieces on the shelf. One of the silver ornaments is a short dagger. You may take this with you if you want. It is rather too short to be really useful, but nevertheless, you can add 2 skill points to use it in a fight. There is also a silver hip flask, and if you're not already, you may take this flask and fill it with brandy. Now you can either examine the fireplace or leave the room. Okay, so we'll add that to our list of items. So we've got a short dagger and a silver hip flask of brandy. Might come in handy, you never know. Okay, let's examine the fireplace. I guess there might be some pictures on there or something of use. 303. Okay. A fine carriage clock sits in the centre of an elaborate wooden mantelpiece. A number of letters are jammed behind the clock and you reach for them. As you do, your sleeve catches on the carved images of the woodwork and it moves. You lean forward to examine it, and it's a small carved demonic face that can be moved sideways. Do you wish to see what lies behind the wooden face, or will you read through the letters? Should we read the letters? Maybe we can find out who lives here. But will it let us go back and see what lies behind the wooden face? Do you think this is going to be of use for us? Let's see what lies behind the wooden face. There might just be something there that we can use, a secret room or a switch to get into a secret room. I'm just guessing, of course. What on earth is that? No idea what that is. The little carving moves to reveal a button set in the mantelpiece behind it. You consider not whether to press the button. As you are deep in thought, you do not notice what is happening to the fire. In the grate, the fire has come to life. Strong flames are licking the chimney and considerable heat has been given off. You feel the heat and step backwards, but as you do, 2 small figures leap from the fire and face you. These are fire sprites, and they are small, and they come up to your knees. But their flaming bodies burn with the vigour of the fire from which they arouse. They hover in the air just above the carpet, for if they touch anything, it bursts into flame. Do you wish to fight these creatures, or will you try another approach? Have we got any water or anything like that? I'll see what the other approach might be. Can we fight fire? They say fight fire with fire, but I don't think that will apply to this. We've got a hip flask of brandy, but I don't think that would help. How will you hold off these advancing creatures? Will you pick up the brandy decanter or move backwards towards the window? The brandy decanter will probably make the flame flames even worse because it's alcohol, yeah. I can't see that really helping us at all. Let's move back towards the window. There might be something there that we can grab. The fire sprites follow you as you walk back to the window. Pretending to be terrified, you make for one of the plant pot stands and attempt to hide behind it. But when the sprites are near enough, you strike, grabbing the large plant pot on top of the stand, and you hurl the contents over these creatures. The soil covers them and douses their flames. In an instant, they have disappeared. Now turn to 375. 375. You step back up the fireplace and examine the secret button again. Will you press it, or will you leave the drawing room? I think we should press it and just see what happens. Do you agree? Let's press it. 392 it is, and if something bad happens, we'll just backtrack. 392. You press the button and hear a small click. Then you hear another sound and you swing around to face the corner shelf. Beside this shelf, a sliding panel has opened up in the wall. You walk over to investigate and bend down to look at the opening. Too late. You realize that the panel has revealed not a tunnel at all, but a false opening. The wall behind is solid, but it has served its purpose and you have been lured into a trap. You are standing on a trapdoor which opens beneath you and you fall downwards. Sorry, I didn't mean to do this. Turn to 397. 397, does that mean that we are now prisoners again and going to be... You fall down for several meters until you finally land on a heap of something soft. Add 1 fear point for the fright and test your luck. If you're lucky, you're unhurt. We're lucky. You pick yourself up and verify that there is no serious damage. You've landed on a mound of earth and hay, and you realize that you are in a cellar beneath the house. The room is fairly small with one door, but outside you can hear a shuffling noise coming closer. Will you spring behind the door to surprise whatever is approaching? Or will you quickly search the room for a weapon in case you need to defend yourself? Okay, I'm going to leave this one for you to decide what to do because my battery is soon to die. And yeah, I think it's a good place to end this week's episode. But I do hope we're going to get out of this house before the end of October. It's taken a lot longer than what I would have thought. But let's stop here. So let me know in the comments. Because some of the things I've been trying have not been working out. So just simply let me know in the comments what you want to do and I'll just do a count up. So tonight when this video is posted, I've got until Wednesday to gather all your opinions on what we should do because I do need to continue the story. So if you can let me know before Wednesday of this week, will you spring behind the door to surprise whoever is approaching? Or will you quickly search the room for a weapon in case you need to defend yourself? Just let me know in the comments. I'll do a recce on Wednesday and we will make that decision. Okay, thank you so much and hopefully we can get out of the house of hell ready for episode 4. So thank you for your time tonight and I will see you soon. Take care.